Hi, my name's Nick Weldin. I work here at Middlesex University. I'm a technical tutor, so I teach on the undergraduate robotics modules, I teach on the MSc robotics modules, and I sort of maintain and look after the robots as well. We were interested in the Niryo robots for a number of reasons. We have a couple of larger industrial robots, but it was limited in the number of students that could get access to those. So we were looking around for things that would enable us to buy in greater quantities. We realised that that actually had the capabilities that we needed. You could use the blocky programming interface to teach people the basics of it within a couple of minutes. But the fact that you can also then migrate onto Python as you get better at stuff, but equally you can go right down to the level of using ROS, means that we can use it in lots of different ways, lots of different applications. So we also have an automation lab that runs a lot of Festo equipment and Siemens equipment, and the guy who teaches in there is very keen to get one of the Niryo robots over there and get that interfacing with stuff like PLCs. So the fact that it can also talk over Modbus is really useful for that. We were impressed by the quality of the build, that it was going to withstand use by students who maybe in the outreach activities weren't really taking that much care and were likely to do things wrong quite a lot. But this was robust enough to handle that. The fact that it uses dynamics or servos means that if something goes wrong with one of them, it will be fairly easy to replace it. We got the robots in May. At that point, we'd finished teaching on the undergraduate programs, but we had MSc students who were starting projects over the summer. So 3 of the students chose to use the Niryo robot for their project, partly because it meant they could have one or a couple of robots that they had the sole use of over the summer, and so they could make changes and adaptations and attach stuff to it without having to constantly dismantle it and put it back on because other students needed to use the equipment as well. One student is using the fact that we've got multiple robots to look at robots moving within the same workspace and looking at getting them to avoid collisions and plan appropriately so they're both able to move in a combined space. We also run our own network here that all the robots connect to. So all the Niryos connect to that network. So students are able to do projects that involve multiple different robots working together and coordinating. So can be working on the level of programming an individual robot or on the level of programming an architecture for multiple robots to work together, the kind of thing that will be happening in things like warehouses and things like that increasingly. So the Niryo robots were easy to set up, they were easy to start using. Within 2 weeks of having bought a class set, we ran an open workshop for 20 students from a nearby secondary school.